Hi, I'm Andy Gunn, and this is Bridge the Atlantic.
Welcome to Bridge the Atlantic's Indie Spotlight, a brand new series where we introduce you to up-and-coming musicians you need to know. We're your host, award-winning singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist Marcia Novelli from Canada. When I'm not making music or doing this show, I'm producing records and directing music videos. Speaking of which, you can check out my music on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and just about everywhere and anywhere you like to listen to music.
And I am music web designer Ross Barber-Smith from Scotland, owner of Electric Kiwi, where we create awesome custom websites for bands, artists, and musicians. Before we jump in, we do just want to let you know that we are on Patreon, and you can become a bridger from as little as $1 per month. You'll gain access to our exclusive new Encore series featuring never-before-seen videos with some of our guests, and your support will allow us to keep the lights on here at Bridge the Atlantic.
That's right. So today on the show, we're chatting with Andy Gunn out of Scotland. That was bad.
We are, and that was a terrible attempt at a Scottish accent, Marcia.
Scottish!
Recently heralded as a great lost Scottish talent and one of our finest ever blues players, Andy Gunn's inspirational return to the music scene was proclaimed by his 2015 album Miracle of Healing. We're excited to chat with him about his new album, Too Many Guitars to Give Up Now. Hey Andy, welcome to Bridge the Atlantic's Indie Spotlight.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Awesome. I'd love to jump right in. Andy, what does being an independent artist mean to you?
Well, being broke most of the time. No, it's great to be making your own music, and I suppose there's pros and cons. I suppose on the plus side, you get to make exactly the kind of music you want to make. But then on the downside, you maybe don't have the back end of like a larger company or whatever. So, it's tricky. You've got to plug away at it and try to do your best, I think. Yeah.
You got your pros and cons. I just got a glimpse of myself on the screen here, and I just realized that I'm wearing these. I don't even need to wear these. I'm such a nice guy. Andy was a little self-conscious about having to wear those big headphones, so I said I would wear them, but that was just temporary. Sorry,
I was
Andy,
wondering why you got like in-ears and the main headphones.
You're on your own now, man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the music that you want to make, Andy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your new album, Too Many Guitars to Give Up Now, which just came out very recently.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of took a slightly different approach with this album, in that we kind of got it fairly rehearsed beforehand, and then we just went in and we sort of just fired it down, recorded the whole thing live in 2 days, which for a whole album is pretty miraculous, really. And we got to sort of give some credit to the engineer. He had everything sort of more or less set up before we arrived. The drums mic'd, the piano mic'd. We had a Valve Hammond organ thing. That was all, Leslie, that was all mic'd. And yeah, we just went in and kind of nailed it, It was, and the guys, the band did really great. And, and there's maybe little imperfections or whatever in it. But, what you lose there, you gain a performance, and it's a really honest and heartfelt kind of record, and it kind of, I suppose, blues especially is kind of it's all about the performance, and it's about the phrasing, and it's about the interaction between the musicians, and it's about the spaces that you leave between the notes, and the call and the response, and the all of that stuff. So whilst if you overdubbed everything and layered it all and got it all perfectly in time and perfectly in tune and all the rest of it, it doesn't necessarily equate to good music,
It's interesting you say that. We recently interviewed Nick Blagona, a famous record producer and sound engineer, on our interview series, and he talked about how important it is to have imperfections in music. And some artists come in and want to, just make everything perfect, but there's beauty in imperfection.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm all about kind of the performance, and there's an artist that I love, Martin Stevenson, singer songwriter from Newcastle originally, and his records are kind of often really kind of like alive and vibrant, and,
right.
And sometimes they've got like kind of mistakes and bits and pieces like that in it.
So, have you ever done a live off the floor before? I want to ask. Have you ever done that before? Is this the first time you did a pretty much live off the floor, as we call it?
No, not quite. I mean, we did the Boner Bridge sessions,
okay,
which was recorded in a little village hall
cool.
up in the Highlands and Bonner Bridge, this little place there, and we just went in. I mean, that was kind of possibly a little bit too extreme, and we never rehearsed any of it.
Oh no!
before we got there,
that's definitely going to have some imperfections.
yeah, but I mean, the guys were great, and so we just like sort of laid down loads of grooves, and I just kind of took it away, and I overdubbed like vocals after it. But I mean, there was actually some really good stuff happened there, you know. So this was kind of like there was a bit of pre-production, you know. We had the material, and we
I like
worked
that.
out.
I like that. There's an artist that I like. His name's Dallas Green of Sitting Color. And he, after his first album, I think ever since then, his second album and onward, he does mostly everything off the floor, at least the foundation, and adds overdubs on top. And it works perfectly for him. For me as an artist, I really like the differentiation between a studio album and live performance. But I'm doing more of a, you know, acoustic pop rock thing, or pop rock, you know. So, but I think for what you're doing, it just feels right to have you do something live off the floor. It feels like
it's authentic, I think, to the style of music that you do.
The style of music, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, I read like in a recorded magazine, and I kind of forget the guy's name. He was one of the main guy in Atlantic Records, you know, that did all like Aretha Franklin and, you know, Ray Charles and all these, and like he was still doing work, and did Nora Jones. And that was one of the things he said, you know, a great record's about capturing a performance. And I suppose like when you're, you know, in a multi-million pound studio, you'll have like isolation on everything. So, you know, say somebody does fluff a line or whatever, you know, you can repair that. And we had that, like, you know, to an extent, and it was, you know, a fairly decent studio with, you know, like everything in different rooms, but there was, you know, quite a bit of bleed. So yeah, it was fairly live, you know, so.
I love that, man. And I encourage everyone to go check out what you're doing. You're a fantastic guitar player, by the way. I will say I definitely admire your work. You're fantastic in that. And
thanks so much,
Andy. Thanks so much for. I know this is short and sweet, but thanks so much for coming on and chatting with us. I want everyone to make sure that they go follow Andy on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as I think Andy Gunn Music. All right.
Andy Gunn Music, yeah, that's the Facebook and Twitter, and the main website is andygunn.net. So.
Perfect, awesome.
That's right, and that's Gunn with 2 N's.
That's right.
To keep everyone on track.
That's right.
As for us, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, and YouTube. Don't forget to visit our website and pick up one of our shirts while you're there. If you use the coupon code BTAROCKS, you'll get 20% off your purchase as well.
That's right. And as for me, you can check out my music on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, or anywhere you like to stream or download music. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which are all my name, Marcio Novelli. Don't know why I said it like that, but Marcio Novelli.
Go with it. It sounds good. And I am working on websites for various artists at the moment. You can check out my work and my blog at electrickiwi.co.uk. You'll find me on Twitter and Instagram as Electric Kiwi, and on Facebook, Electric Kiwi Design.
That's right. This episode was brought to you by Social Surge. If you need to market your social media and get stuff in order and grow your following, contact Social Surge. All links are in the show notes, so please check them out because they keep this show alive.
And if you would also like to sponsor the show and gain access to exclusive content, visit patreon.com/bridgetheatlantic.
Thanks for tuning in to Indie Spotlight. We will see you next time.